In recent weeks, a surprising and thought-provoking topic has gone viral across social media, sparking intense curiosity and widespread debate. The discovery that many religious communities around the world fast, pray regularly, follow strict moral codes, and live disciplined spiritual lives, yet they are not Muslims. For countless viewers, this revelation was both shocking and fascinating, as such practices are most commonly associated with Islam. Videos, blog posts, and short clips showing people from different faiths engaging in fasting, bowing in prayer, and reciting sacred texts quickly gained millions of views, leaving audiences stunned and eager to learn more. The initial wave of attention began when several content creators and researchers shared historical comparisons between Islam and other ancient religions. These comparisons revealed striking similarities in daily worship routines, ethical guidelines, and lifestyle principles. Many viewers were amazed to learn that concepts such as fasting for spiritual purification, praying at fixed times of the day, giving charity to the poor, dressing modestly, and maintaining strict dietary laws exist in multiple belief systems. This challenged the common assumption that these practices were unique to Islam, prompting deeper reflection about the shared spiritual heritage of humanity. As the topic spread, religious scholars, historians, and sociologists joined the conversation, offering detailed explanations backed by historical evidence. They explained that throughout history, civilizations interacted through trade, migration, and conquest, leading to the exchange of cultural and religious ideas. In regions such as the Middle East, South Asia, and Central Asia, different faith communities lived side by side for centuries, shaping one another's rituals and traditions. These long-standing interactions created spiritual patterns that appear remarkably similar, even across religions that developed independently. The discussion quickly moved beyond curiosity and entered the realm of serious debate. Some people questioned how these similarities developed, while others wondered whether certain practices originated from one tradition and later spread to others. Many Muslims saw these parallels as confirmation of Islam's message that God sent prophets to all nations, each teaching similar core values. Meanwhile, followers of other faiths viewed the similarities as proof of shared moral foundations, highlighting the universal human desire for discipline, purity, and closeness to the divine. Public interest intensified as mainstream news outlets and educational platforms began covering the topic. Articles, documentaries, and panel discussions explored the historical roots of fasting, prayer, and moral discipline across cultures. Universities and religious institutions organized webinars to explain how religious traditions evolved over time and influenced one another. The viral nature of the topic turned it into a global conversation, transcending borders, languages, and cultures. For many ordinary people, this discovery reshaped how they viewed religion itself. Instead of seeing faiths as completely separate and unrelated, they began to recognize a deep interconnectedness between spiritual traditions. The realization that people from vastly different backgrounds share similar acts of worship and devotion inspired feelings of unity and respect. What started as a shocking headline soon transformed into a meaningful exploration of humanity's collective spiritual journey, opening doors to greater understanding, tolerance, and interfaith harmony. As curiosity continued to grow, scholars, historians, and religious experts began identifying specific faiths and spiritual traditions that share remarkable similarities with Islam. Their findings revealed that across different eras and regions, many religions developed practices that closely resemble Islamic teachings in worship, discipline, and moral conduct. This discovery not only surprised the general public but also encouraged deeper academic study into the interconnected roots of human spirituality. Judaism emerged as one of the closest in terms of religious structure and daily practice. Like Islam, it firmly believes in one God, emphasizes obedience to divine commandments, and follows strict dietary laws. Jewish communities observe fasting on holy days, perform regular prayers, practice charity, and follow detailed rules regarding cleanliness and modest living. These parallels highlight a shared Abrahamic heritage that stretches back thousands of years. Certain Christian monastic traditions also reflect strong similarities. While mainstream Christianity differs in theology, monks and nuns in various orders dedicate their lives to structured prayer schedules, long periods of fasting, simple living, and spiritual discipline. Their daily routines often involve early morning prayers, communal worship, silence, and acts of service, mirroring many aspects of Islamic spiritual life. This resemblance demonstrates how devotion and self-control form the core of religious commitment across cultures. Sikhism, founded in South Asia, teaches belief in one God, rejection of idol worship, daily prayers, community service, and strict moral conduct. Sikhs are encouraged to live honest lives, control their desires, and constantly remember God. Their emphasis on humility, discipline, and charity closely aligns with Islamic ethical teachings, showing how different faiths can arrive at similar moral conclusions. Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions, also shares notable similarities. Originating in ancient Persia, it emphasizes purity, prayer, moral accountability, and the constant struggle between good and evil. Many historians believe that Zoroastrian concepts influenced later Abrahamic religions, contributing to shared ideas about judgment, heaven, hell, and ethical responsibility. The Baha'i Faith, which developed in the 19th century, incorporates daily prayers, fasting, moral discipline, and a strong emphasis on unity and peace. Followers observe a month-long fast similar in spirit to Ramadan, abstaining from food and drink during daylight hours. This striking resemblance has fascinated researchers, especially considering the religion's historical roots in Islamic culture. Other lesser-known groups such as the Druze, Yazidis, and Mandaeans also display practices that echo Islamic traditions. These include ritual prayers, fasting, purification rites, modest lifestyles, and strict community ethics. Though their beliefs and sacred texts differ, their daily spiritual routines reveal deep parallels that challenge simplistic views of religious diversity. Even in Hinduism and Buddhism, particularly within monastic orders, one can find disciplined prayer schedules, fasting, meditation, simple clothing, and moral restraint. While their theological foundations differ significantly from Islam, their methods of spiritual purification and self-discipline demonstrate that similar practices can arise independently in different civilizations. Together, these 10 religions and spiritual traditions reveal a powerful truth: the human search for meaning, discipline, and connection with the divine often leads to comparable forms of worship and ethical conduct. These shared practices serve as bridges between cultures, reminding the world that beneath external differences, humanity is united by common spiritual values and aspirations. As discussions deepened, experts began exploring the reasons behind these striking similarities among different religions. Historians, theologians, and sociologists largely agreed that shared geography, centuries of cultural interaction, and the universal nature of human spiritual needs played a central role in shaping these common practices. In regions such as the Middle East, Central Asia, and South Asia, civilizations lived in close proximity for thousands of years. Trade routes, migration, conquests, and scholarly exchanges allowed ideas to travel freely, influencing belief systems and religious rituals across vast territories. One of the strongest explanations lies in historical contact. When communities interact over long periods, they naturally exchange customs, values, and traditions. Religious scholars, travelers, and merchants carried their spiritual practices across borders, introducing new concepts that gradually blended into local cultures. Over time, these influences became deeply rooted, forming traditions that appear remarkably similar, even among religions with different theological foundations. This explains why prayer routines, fasting periods, and moral guidelines often show close resemblance across various faiths. Another important factor is the universal human desire for discipline, purpose, and spiritual growth. Across all cultures, people have sought ways to control their desires, develop patience, and connect with a higher power. Practices such as fasting help individuals detach from material comforts and focus on inner reflection, while regular prayer creates structure, mindfulness, and a sense of divine presence in daily life. These spiritual tools are psychologically powerful, which explains why they emerged independently in multiple civilizations, even without direct contact. From an Islamic perspective, these similarities carry even deeper meaning. Islamic teachings state that God sent prophets to every nation throughout history, each delivering the same core message: worship one God, live morally, and prepare for the hereafter. Over time, these teachings evolved into different religious traditions, but traces of the original message remained. This belief offers a spiritual explanation for why many ancient religions still preserve practices resembling Islamic worship, fasting, and ethical discipline. Sociologists also point to the role of societal structure. In early civilizations, religion was not merely a personal belief but a complete way of life governing law, ethics, family, and community behavior. Structured prayer times, fasting periods, and moral rules helped create social order, unity, and discipline. These systems strengthened communities, promoted fairness, and reduced social conflict, making them highly effective tools for societal stability. In the modern era, these similarities are increasingly viewed as opportunities rather than curiosities. Scholars argue that recognizing shared values can build bridges between faiths, encouraging dialogue, tolerance, and cooperation. Instead of focusing on differences, people can emphasize common principles such as compassion, humility, justice, and service to humanity. This approach fosters mutual respect and reduces religious misunderstanding and hostility. Ultimately, the growing awareness of these parallels is reshaping how people understand religion itself. Rather than seeing belief systems as isolated and competing, many now view them as interconnected paths shaped by shared history and universal human needs. This perspective encourages unity, empathy, and deeper appreciation of the spiritual journey that binds humanity together across cultures and generations. The global reaction to these revelations has been both intense and fascinating, sparking conversations across social media, news outlets, and academic forums. Many Muslims expressed a sense of pride and wonder, viewing these similarities as proof of the universality and wisdom of Islamic teachings. For them, it reinforced the idea that Islam's core values, discipline, moral conduct, devotion, and compassion, are reflections of a timeless truth that resonates across humanity. At the same time, it prompted curiosity among believers about the historical connections between Islam and other faiths, inspiring some to explore the rich tapestry of human spirituality in greater depth. Non-Muslims also reacted with surprise and admiration. Followers of other religions were intrigued to discover that their practices, in some ways, mirror those of Islam. This realization fostered a sense of respect and appreciation for shared human values, particularly the emphasis on ethical living, regular worship, and spiritual discipline. Many online users expressed astonishment at how rituals like fasting, prayer, and charity, though rooted in different theological frameworks, serve similar purposes, cultivating self-control, mindfulness, and moral responsibility. Interfaith activists and educators quickly recognized the potential of these discussions to promote understanding and cooperation. Highlighting common practices and shared values became a platform to reduce prejudice, combat stereotypes, and encourage dialogue between communities. Organizations began organizing webinars, discussion panels, and educational campaigns, emphasizing that religions, despite theological differences, often aim to cultivate ethical living and personal growth. By focusing on similarities rather than divisions, these initiatives sought to nurture tolerance, empathy, and peaceful coexistence on a global scale. At the societal level, this growing awareness is reshaping public perceptions of religion. Instead of seeing faith traditions as entirely separate and competitive, people are beginning to recognize the threads of continuity that run through human spiritual history. This perspective encourages a sense of global community, reminding individuals that ethical conduct, devotion, and moral responsibility are shared aspirations across humanity. Social media campaigns, viral videos, and educational content highlighting these similarities have reached millions, demonstrating the power of knowledge to unite rather than divide. Ultimately, what began as a shocking revelation, that there are religions that fast, pray, and live disciplined spiritual lives without being Muslim, has evolved into a profound lesson in unity, understanding, and coexistence. By uncovering the commonalities that exist across faiths, people are learning to appreciate diversity while recognizing shared human values. This newfound awareness is fostering a global dialogue that emphasizes respect, cooperation, and the universal pursuit of spiritual growth, encouraging individuals to see beyond labels and focus on the deeper, shared essence of humanity's religious journey.